Social Enterprise Development Centre was launched in 2001 by the Lahore University of Management Sciences and McGill University with the financial support of the Canadian International Development Agency, with the research, teaching and consultation resources of LUMS and the Suleman Dawood School of Business at its disposal. SEDC was set up as a scholarship-based research centre committed to facilitating social enterprises help deliver quality social services by enhancing their leadership and managerial capacity.
LUMS is an institution that focuses on excellence and it focuses on impact on society. In Pakistan, as a developing country, clearly there are many shortcomings. Social enterprise talks about people, their relationship to society, their relationship to economy. The SEDC, that is the Social Enterprise Development Center, does that for LUMS, that it looks at the needs of policymakers, the needs of development agencies, the needs of society.
Gender equality and social inclusion, they are cross-cutting themes across several projects and initiatives at SEDC. Gender in particular is one of our key areas, as we understand that gender is also a key gap, a challenge and an opportunity for social and economic development in Pakistan.
We found that there is a very large segment of social sector which also needed capacity building in their management capability and leadership capability. So we decided to set up a center which would focus primarily on social sector organizations where although some of the core principles are same, but the nuances and approaches are somewhat different.
SEDC is a center which is fully ingrained into the body DNA of LUMS. It is housed as part of the business school, but it draws strengths from overall LUMS faculty. It has benefited society through various activities, which is research and training. It is also a vehicle through which our students get exposed to the social enterprise area through internships and placements. More importantly now for SEDC, after these many years, there is a network of SEDC fellows spread all over Pakistan. There are thematic groups which are spread all over Pakistan. So there is a wide sort of network which is now available for SEDC and its activities all over the country.
Relevance has been the key driving force for the Suleman Dawood School of Business. Relevance to the industry, relevance to the real world. We have the faculty, we have the infrastructure which is suited to train human resources. Here also the faculty has been trained over the last several years.
And the strategy is that you would do research, training and consulting. So if you think of a triangle, then three triangle points will be research, training and consulting, and dialogue in the middle, so that we bring all these stakeholders to SEDC platform. And that's where we sort of do our activities and bring all these things into a academic scholastic sort of arena.
SEDC's first collaboration with the Canadian International Development Agency lasted from 2001 to 2008. The Health Enterprise Leadership's Development Program was undertaken with the help of the David and Lucille Packard Foundation. In 2009, 10 and 11, SEDC partnered up with the City Foundation, and the National Leadership for Reproductive Health and Development Program saw SEDC partner up with the Packard Foundation once again in 2011. The National Leadership for Reproductive Health and Development project aims to establish and foster authentic, inclusive, cross-sectoral linkages among women leaders to advocate and mobilize policy change for family planning and reproductive health initiatives.
David Packard, who was the founder of Packard Foundation, had a firm belief that only leadership can make a change happen. And that's how LUMS was brought in as a very credible university who can work on the leadership development, especially for family planning and reproductive health. And so first project that they did was all about the leadership development within the family planning and reproductive health.
The objective of the project was to build capacity of a social sector, especially in the reproductive health sector, of the relevant departments of public sector and the NGOs who are working on reproductive health and family planning issues.
The NLRHD project is overseen by the Project Advisory Committee and has three primary components: the Women's Leaders Network, the Strategic Paper Writers, and the HELP training.
Project Advisory Committee was established and formed with the help of donor and key leaders in the public and NGO sector of Pakistan.
Well, the committee is the one who examined how exactly this project should be visualized and conceptualized, and what exactly are we trying to look at. There was a lot of discussion on, look at these sectors, the industrial sectors, and how women's health and reproductive health behavior is impacted by their engagement in these sectors.
As a part of Packard Foundation project, it was supposed that we are going to make a women leadership network. Basic purpose was to empower women and use their leadership qualities to influence the women at grassroots level.
This is a network of 26 members who came from different walks of life, and we came together to get trained on the platform of LUMS to talk about specifically reproductive health issues in different walks of life.
The main contribution of the Women Leaders Network actually is to mobilize women, fostering leadership, and it's building capacities and empowering women, especially those marginalized.
We have targeted 3 different sectors for those strategy papers. One is textile, the other one is livestock, and the third one is footballs. Why we selected those sectors? Because the proportion of women working, and we selected these sectors with 2 different perspectives. One was actually developing a policy paper at the policy platform, and the other paper was basically working on the operational side of the project.
In a way, these strategy papers are kind of bringing together all the activities that SEDC and LUMS does within the public health sector. We are aiming for NGOs and advocacy agencies to look at the paper and see where they find the leverage within the specific sectors. And we're also looking for some policy framework, dialogues that we can actually initiate with policymakers, the government, donor agencies, other international agencies that are involved within the sector. So in a sense, it's not just the academia that we're looking at.
The Health Enterprise Leadership Program trainings aim to improve the service delivery of the reproductive health sector in Pakistan by enhancing the leadership and management skills of health service personnel.
All of the cases that are studied in the HELP's workshops, they're all from the development sector, they're all from reproductive health, they're from education, and that's why they're more easy to relate to, because it was so relevant and you could understand where it is coming from and where do you stand it and how can you implement it or replicate it. I think that was very useful, not just for me, but for everyone else in the workshop as well.
We have been very satisfied with the work that they have done so far, but we hope that they are able to influence the policies of the corporate sector.
SEDC's thematic areas include governance, education, health, gender, and microfinance poverty reduction.
Problems of education and health are local problems. Gender is a problem which is an all-pervasive social problem. So we have to find solutions. We have to find local solutions. So it's important for us to work with big business. It's important for us to have answers for requirements of MBA graduates. But at the same time, the same skill set is required for public sector and also NGO sector.
SEDC has linkage with the local and international donors, and SEDC is also a platform which can identify and mobilize the right kind of scholars to bring in the loop to have a value added execution of the project.
SEDC has been conducting open enrollment as well as customized training programs and has trained over 2,000 individuals from more than 400 organizations in over 100 trainings.
Training is one of the critical strengths, and in that we rely on the entire sort of faculty pool of LUMS. So if you have been trained at SEDC in these short trainings from 3 days to SEMP program which spanned over a year, and you essentially got a mini MBA. These are very, very critical components of our activities.
In both this respect, in terms of the brand which has been established in the market, a program being delivered by SDSB, and in terms of interest and competence of the faculty in this area, that has been built.
We will now do more of policy studies so that we can influence social policy. We have a deep understanding of what is happening in this area. We have interacted with a large cross-section of social leaders, So we would be using that know-how to help devise policy which it improves the overall effectiveness of the sector.
I see a tremendous future for such issues to be addressed by premier academic institutions such as LUMS. And it is heartening to see that at LUMS, where we have expertise in engineering, in law, in the humanities and social sciences, in economics and business, we are bringing all of these expertise to bear to address problems that are being faced by millions at this time, and that could be faced by tens or hundreds of millions in the future. These are major issues that will determine the future of this country, and we have the ability and the expertise to address them.